Hello everybody, welcome to the show. Bass Bonsai, out on the water, not in the house. But we're going to start off with doing some cast testing, then we're going fishing. But this is a test of the emergency Missouri broadcasting system. No, not really. So what we're doing, this isn't between these two reels, but we're doing a frog shootout. So normally I start over here. Okay, and I'm casting this way if you guys seen in other videos, but that wind is blowing like across and over here, and man, it's hit me in the face over there, and I'm be casting in, so that is probably out. So I've come up here and I'm actually in a higher little spot, so I'm going to cast out this way. We've got a little meter, and I may try to check. It depends on how much it blows the line. It may be pointless to try to see how much line you got if it blows 20 foot out that way kind of deal, but there's fish working, so I'm going to get out and do some fishing. But first, I have to test this. So I brought back out of retirement the Bantam, which I'm selling, but I put line back on it. We're going to have one more shootout between it and the Zillion. But then I also, on the 6'9" medium heavy, I've got our LingL, right? Steve's knockoff reel with the regular mag track style deep spool. We're going to put it up against the Acura with the frog also, same weight, Booyah popping pad crasher and a Booyah pad crasher. And so, yeah. I don't know which video this is or what, but stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. So we will start off. First of all, you do not want to cast with that thing on. Let me take this deal off. Put it somewhere. I guess my pocket will work. So let me get this baby going. Should be set pretty good. I guess I should double check it and we'll tell you guys where we're at. Number 4 is where it usually works good at. Now I had to clear out some spots behind me. It's kind of a, yeah, so shouldn't be an issue. If you guys can see where that landed, I'll try to fish it. If I get a hit on a frog, I would guess the water temp's 40 to 45, because it was in the 40s last weekend, but we had some crazy cold temps a couple days during the week, down into 20s, teens, maybe even overnight. So let me get one more cast and then we'll read that reading. I should cast. I'm gonna try to cast towards that water's, that side of the bank, basically, so if I can. I'll try to keep each one about 6 inches off. Yeah, the wind's gonna blow it. So that meter reading is probably gonna be off. Let me try to throw it this way, hang on. That's why I need a Zillion 10. That water is clear today. I am going to fish, but I'm going to probably have to get my BFS. I brought all my stuff. It's out here, so let me see. If you guys can see that cast. It is almost impossible to walk the dog without it. Alright, I'm just going to cast it straight out towards that island deal. Let's cast it out, right? Cast it out and get a measurement on it. Alright, that was a long one. So let me get the deal out. This is new to me. I briefly kind of checked it. Not sure how well. I definitely don't like even messing around with this, but right. We'll put that on. If you guys have ever wondered what these do, you just basically go up on top. So you're going to go into that and then circle around. So watch this. It's zeroed out. Make sure it's set to 0. And go over, through, back down, and back around like a full circle. And then just start reeling in your line. It says 14, 20, so 45 is what I got. Let's switch and we'll go try the other one. So before I switch reels on that other one, we're going to throw this guy. So I'm going to zero this back out, put it in my pocket, and we're just going to throw this guy real quick. Hopefully I don't backlash. And see where he's at. And I'll have to check this one. I'm not going to throw it super hard because I'm not sure where my settings are. I think they're right, but I just wanted to double check it. Feels pretty good. So it's just after 10 a.m. I'm actually planning on fishing, and probably not till around maybe noon. So I'm gonna get this done, probably warm my hands up. All right. You're gonna say I didn't hear the clicker part. Let's put a little more oomph into it. Okay, so it's not getting anywhere near. I'm gonna go 1 click back from 4. Whoa, Jesus. So I was there, hang on. So I'm actually gonna go 2 back because this, that drag is set. The magnetic brakes were set for the shallow spool, throwing different stuff. So anyway, this is a little different, so I'm gonna lighten it up as I go, just to make sure I give it its fair shot. Okay, there we go. Now we're playing with power. So that was pretty good. I'm gonna get 1 more cast and then we'll measure it. Oh, there's a fish swimming by. I'm almost positive I'm gonna catch fish today, so be looking forward to that video. But anyway, let's get 1 more good cast with this. We'll measure it, and then I'm gonna switch both reels out. Probably warm my hands up in between that. And then we'll see what we got going on. So this is for all the marbles. No, that cast sucked. I'm gonna lighten it 1 more click to 3. Now I didn't even try the Zillion on 3. I was just throwing it on 4. I guess if I feel I need to. If you guys remember, what was that number, 45? So let's try this 1 more shot. It just felt funky on that cast. That was a good one. Okay, so, whoa, that ice is cracking. That rivaled close. So let's see where that dude was. It felt fluffy, but it didn't backlash, but I don't want to take any more chances. I was kind of just wanting to see for myself, which I feel they will, and to show you guys that these things are actually legit, good casting, working. Had this one a season now, well, between me and Charles, so pretty much year-old reels. Ten. Oh, them things are going off. 20. There's fish starting to work everywhere now. If you guys can make out that stuff out there. 30. 40. So we'll give it 41. So 4 meters away from the Zillion. But I mean, different length rod. But yeah, let's go. Okay, made the switch. Got my hands warm enough. So this is set. how I had it for 2 on, 2 off, just right on number 3. I might be able to go down a hair, but if it makes a fluffy sound, we're not going to mess with it. And if this beats the Zillion, I maybe put the Zillion back on, and we'll put it on 3 and see if it doesn't backlash. So that was a good that was a good one. Let me get one more just so you guys can tell I'm setting it right. Now I'm going to try to pay attention to the line and the sound, and I think I might be able to go down just a hair on brakes. So one more good shot. No, that's pretty close. That's about the same cast, so let's see where it is. See if it's 45. 41 to beat the, which I'm sure it beat it. It looked like it beat the other one easy enough. So this rod is so thick, I've got to put this on up a little further on this rod than I do that other. This is a 7-foot heavy. Oh, let me reset that thing. Zeroed out. It's going to have like 80 on it. Come on. I feel very comfortable out here except for my fingers. So here we go. No, that thing, well, maybe. No, it's going to have to go a lot further, a lot faster. No! 40. Dude, I could have swore that. Alright, let's redo it. I could have swore it got further than the other one. It's only 40. It didn't even make it to the... Okay, so we're going to... Hang on. I know this thing will beat the LingL. So we're going to go back just a hair off of 3. Like if you guys remember, I say try to treat it like it was a click if it had a clicker. So you know where a click would be on a Daiwa or almost any reel that has a clicker on the setting for the brakes. So let's try that. Nope, that is it. Okay, that was a good one though. Okay, we're going to measure that one. And it fluffed. And I stopped the line and it is blowing, but it wasn't blowing a lot. So we're going to go with what this says. I feel that's got to be further than the other cast. Now all these reels, and I feel I've played with them, I've got them pretty much to their, you know, max of what distance for me anyway, and how I cast. The thing is not... I'm going to wind up getting a hit. There's 20. Yeah, this will be a longer cast. Uh-oh, that's going to beat them all. 45, 46. So yeah, 46 meters, so almost 47. I'm going to call it 47. So 47 meters. Now it was like right there fluffy. There was no, and it's just a little bit, it's almost like if it had clicks, a click under, if you guys can see what I'm saying here. So like almost what would be a click towards the number 2 setting. And it fluffed, and if I remember right, that is where I had it set in other, that's where it just likes it. So now we're going to do the other reel, but then we're going to put back on. I'm going to cut this off now, but we're not going to do it yet. So we will put the Zillion back on and give him a chance going down to 3, see if he can beat 47. If you guys remember right, it did take it 47 meters. And so now, before I put that one back on, let's see what this guy will do. So we got our little clicker. I call it a clicker. It reminds me of like a counter deal. So anyway, Now this, look at all that stuff. I know there's wind blowing, but there's like little stuff working under the surface. This is more action than I've seen, like right over here. See that down there? I hate when their fish are biting. You get me on the water doing cast testing type stuff, and I'm like, let's just stop and go fishing. But anyway, let's see where this baby goes. Oh wait, it caught the wind, but it went. Okay, I don't think that was far enough to beat anything. I think it'll be right there with them. Now I did oil the crap out of this thing. Most of the other ones have just probably a drop of the Lucas stuff in them now. You know, I don't believe in just stock bearings. Stock bearings usually need, if not sprayed out, they just need a drop of thinner, better oil, and it'll thin itself. Like, it'll just make it better. You don't have to go all crazy. You just can, you know, whatever your good, what you consider good spool bearing oil, just put an extra drop of that in it. It'll even thin out what the stock stuff was usually. So anyway, that was a good cast. Okay, we're gonna go with that because where was our setting? That was, let's just measure it, and then I might give it one more shot, loosen it up a notch. But that seemed good for this reel. So 47 on our Bantam that we're getting rid of. Should I take it back and put it back on? Maybe it likes that heavier action rod better. Anyway, it actually would balance that one better. It just feels heavy on this 6'9", medium heavy. All right, so let's see where our Acura reel. And that squirting it up with that Lucas oil, I just put like 2 or 3 drops in each bearing. Okay, so only 38. So 41 is what the other reel got. So I'm gonna go, oh boy, this thing doesn't work bad, but I feel like it needs to be on the other side. Like, I got to work it with my left hand, and I'm right-handed. I feel like I need one that's set up for that side. So anyway, let's go 1 notch down. All right, 1 notch down. Let's see what this does. Hopefully it don't backlash. Oh, whoa, wow. Okay, we're gonna go 1 more notch. I didn't feel it backlash. I should measure that, but I'm not going to. So that may be putting it right up there with all of them. And them spool bearings are starting to speak to us again. They're like, whew. And it may take a few casts to get that oil. That oil will, I feel it runs itself out. Like, I feel you could dunk one, soak it in you know, the thinner the better, whatever you soak it in, however thick that oil is. The excess will run out, is how I feel. It'll leave, and then you'll just left with a coating of however thin the oil is. Will let it perform the way it's going to perform after, say, it may only be a couple casts. It may be, you know, it spools up to that speed, or it may take a day or whatever, but it gets there fairly quick, and then you're good to go. So you can't, in my opinion, you can't over oil a bearing, other than the fact it could end up inside your reel, causing a little bit of a problem. But that thing might beat them all. I'm gonna go, I should measure that. No, I'm just gonna do 1 more cast, and we're gonna measure it. This little 30, I think that's a 30 millimeter spool. Acura may smoke everything. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Wow, we're gonna measure that. That was a good cast. And honestly, it's not quite on the, I think it's close, but it's not on the, as much on the edge as as the, for sure, as much on the edge as what the Bantam was. So let's get this line. I'm anxious to see what this one, I gotta reset it. Remind me, reset it, Hickland. Okay, we got that on, reset, zeroed out. This baby. It's gonna be a good one. Yeah, I gotta put that Zillion back on, set on 3. $46. So it beat the Zillion by 1 meter, and it's 1 meter behind the Bantam. It's a $75, $80 reel. Yeah, that just happened. All right, I knew it was a good. It's an awesome. It just works good. I feel I need to put the LingL variant back on too to give it another shot. All right, switch back. Hands warmed up one more time. So if you remember right, we were set at 4, so we're gonna go back down to 3 and give it a shot at 3. Maybe too fluffy. We may have to just try it one more shot at 4, but we're gonna try it. I got me a little casting thing worked out here. It's kind of a little leery. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not really fond of height. I'm pretty high up over here. So let's just see what. Now it fluffed. That thing nailed it. Let's just check it, and then I may give it one more cast. So it fluffed. If you guys heard that sound, you can go back and listen. Actually, both the JDM ones, I've got them to that point. The Bantam was the same way. It had that fluffing sound to it. So it's like they're right there. That like one click past 3 and this one right on 3 is about where I feel maxed out. If I go any lower, I know they will backlash. And I'm kind of throwing, not really, wind's blowing this way and I'm kind of out of it, but I don't think I'm really throwing with or against. If anything, I'm throwing with the wind, but I think I'm kind of almost neutral. You may be getting a little more distance due to the wind. Both of them, you know, all of anything I'm casting. Let's just see where this went. Remember right, we're going to 47 is the Bantam, 46 was the Acura, 45 was this, set on 4, now it's on 3. And I'm gonna give the another, I've got this LingL variant rigged up also. Ooh, 45, 46, 47. Oh, it's a tie, dude. Look at that, 47. Remember the, so I'm gonna call that good. This one's a tie. I came out here and visually, the one other video I said this beat the Bantam, but I call that a tie. If you remember right, the Bantam was also like right there on the verge of turning it to 47. So if you're out fishing, you're not gonna be able to tell the difference if this can cast further, you know what I'm saying? If you're just out there fishing, set on those settings. In all honesty, if I was out here fishing today, this would be on 4 and the Bantam would be dead on 3, maybe even one, almost what would be a click past 3. So yeah, I've got enough testing and what I'm doing, and so now they claim the newer Bantam is better than the older one for casting, so then it probably could technically beat this SV spool, SV boost, but like who cares, right? So let me get to our final. And I put it back on the LingL variant because I want to try it out with chatterbait, so it needs to be on there anyway. So we tied. Honestly, what I took out of this whole thing is, you know, it's the ease of casting distance. You can cast just as far with the cheap ones like that Acura. That sucker's only a meter behind the two very, like, way more expensive ones. Let's see if we can get this baby right here, where we can get this baby going. So anyway, this is basically any of them, if you guys remember right, and I have changed this one. I added the little 0.5 magnets. If you have one that has a MagTrack style, the LingL, LingL variant that looks shaped just like a Steez, the MK9. If you still have a turquoise Fox, is kind of what the side plates and the guts out of this one were. And there, the other LingLs that are out there now that do have the MagTrack style, LingL. So anyway, let's see where this guy can go. Let's see if we can get it right there with the others. It only came up to, was it, I don't even remember where it was. I want to say it wasn't even 40, but let's just go. Okay, I think that is max. I cast kind of down, but that was zinging it. So we are right on 3 also with this thing. So let me get one more good cast with it. We'll measure it, and then I might go 1 click more, just in case I get a backlash and I can't get it out, kind of deal is why I'm doing that. Then I'm gonna go fishing. You guys stay tuned. Keep watching the channel for my fishing video from today. Hopefully I catch some fish. I'm gonna probably go down to the deeper end. I may hit the shallow end with something just shallow, running, bouncing like a, I don't even know what, but then I'm gonna go that deep end and try a few different things today. All right, let's see. Let's get this over with. Let's go. Come on. No, I don't think it's getting there. I'm not even gonna measure that. I'm gonna take it 1 click down. But I still didn't hear it fluff. I kind of like this 95 millimeter. I like the knobs for sure. But once you get out here fishing it on these bigger rods like this, 6'9", and with the 7 3-to-1 and this longer thing may slow me down enough for chatterbaits. It may be a good thing. I think I'll try this reel. That's the deep spool. Nope. Oh wow. I'm not going to measure that. Actually, I should measure that. Okay, so the wind's going to blow it and it's going to look funny, but that fluffed for sure. I'm going to try another cast, and if it doesn't backlash, we're going to count it, but that was the fluffiest of any of them. We're going to see how close we got to the other 3 reels with that cast. I think this, if any of them, this is the one that's not quite as capable, but I got a better spool coming that I think's a better spool, and then we'll try that spool when it, oh boy. I don't know if you guys can make out the wind, but it blows those baits. That, oh, I didn't reset it. Son of a, oh my God. Well, we can add 47. We take away 47, I mean. So we got 91. Okay. So we take away 40, that'll give us 51. We take away 7 from that. We take away 6. So 44. Does that sound right? So that is 2 less, right? So we'll reset it and I'll cast again, but from what I gathered there, that is 2 meters less than the Acura. Which, I mean, it's fine. It's still 2 meters isn't gonna like make or break your being able to fish with it. But and it's right on the edge, so for whatever reason does not seem to be quite as capable. Yeah, it backlashed. So it does not like that setting. We're gonna go back to 3 and I'll just cast it as hard as I can. So back to 3, let me get the backlash out. So far out of the bunch, this is definitely these LingL variants with that MagTrack style aren't quite as capable, in my opinion anyway, as Acura. Now the only thing I will say, the Acura, these 3, this one and both the other ones have 20 pound. The Acura does have the, it's either 15 or 18. It is a touch thinner diameter line, so that could be affecting just a hair, but all right, let's try this again. That was a good cast. But yeah, I don't think it's quite getting there. Let me try one more. Let me get where I feel is as far as it'll go. Now out there watching it land, it's like it's plenty fishable. Just to show you before I make the last cast, like say, now I know I'm way up here, but you know, if you're, oh boy, I'm hooked. If you're fishing this thing, like even though this is the most, my other one, like I just barely flick it out there and it'll go far enough to, you know, wherever you were at, you can, you know, place that bait wherever you want to put it. these cast testing videos are kind of fun to get out here and play around with, but yeah, let's go. There we go. That, my friends, is a more, let me hold that line, let me check that. Let me reset it. It's reset, okay. If I didn't have any wind, I'd be set up to where I could cast towards a target that I can't, could get close to and judge by that and by this. But this actually works pretty good. Get you pretty close. And I can feel it and see it. That wind may have changed because I don't remember my baits getting that caught up. And I may not be able to get this one in. It is a frog, but he is wrapped around everything under the sun over there. Oh my God. That just shows you how a frog will get through anything. It was wrapped up on everything over at that bank. Now, I think the accuracy should still be there. 40, 42, 44, 45. Are you kidding me? 46. So, right there, honestly. So we got 47 with our 2 JDMs, and this one just got a 46. It's a little harder to get there than, say, the Acura, but dude, I'm telling you, these I don't know. I just feel, in my opinion, like I say this every time at the end of these cast testing videos, and I don't know if it's just the fact I can, adjust them and get them set, but I feel like I'm getting the max distance that just whatever this frog is capable of being thrown on these rods anyway. Now, yeah, I could go to 7'6", maybe a medium moderate or a medium heavy moderate, or big fiberglass rod that loads deeper and get further. But as far as with what rod is given to me, the reels are all like, they're so closely, because they all seem to have maybe good bearings, lightweight spools, so it just gets the job done, right? So anyway, if you can see, I got this one. Oh, that was even a good one too. You see how much line is taken off? Like, it's right there on the verge. I can zing it about as hard as I can, or pretty much as hard as I can, and it it starts to fluff, but then it clears itself out. But just like this, like the others, I would probably be, this is dead on 3. I'd probably go to 3 and then 1 past 3 towards 4 to be out fishing. And we'll see. I'm going to be using probably all these, doing a little testing with different baits and see what I think of this with the working a chatterbait. So anyway, I'll be back. That's a wrap, guys. Hopefully you liked that video. It's a tie for me. Like, in all honesty, the Bantam, even though it is for sale, by the way. Check with me if I haven't seen if I'd already sold it. They're just right there. Like, I could probably sit here. I can't really do it with that little gauge because it only goes in meters. So if you go down to feet and inches, I would need to be out on a field somewhere walking it off, and we ain't gonna do that. But both of our JDM 47 meters are AliExpress ones, 46, so right there behind it. That's, meters are close to yards if you guys don't know the difference. So like, if you tried to average it out, so 46, 47, 2.5, 3 foot, a couple foot further is all that my, the more expensive JDM ones are getting over these AliExpress ones. So in theory, we still don't know how long these AliExpress reels will last, but to justify, say, the price difference, if you're paying $350 for a Bantam or the Zillion, which I'm only paying like $250 somewhere in that area, getting them from Digitaka or used on eBay. So you could get about 3 of the AliExpress ones. So in say if they last 2 seasons, we already got a season in on them. So if they last 2 and that's it, the 3 you could buy for the price of the other one. So each 2 years you could just go buy a new reel. Couple years buy a new reel. By then, the technology, if you guys have seen, just like in the Bantam, the 2018 Bantam has already been replaced by the newer one, which technically goes out and does cast better. They do the same thing. So it's hard to justify telling you guys how to spend your money. Definitely don't go buy a Steve's Limited. It doesn't cast twice as far for 550, 650 bucks, right? So anyway, hopefully you liked that video. This, was it an eye-opener? No, I already knew it was going to happen. Does one reel outcasting another one make me pick that as my winner for me to use for fishing? No. The overall ease of use, palming, just the feel of it, right? It all goes into play. So anyway, enough talking. This shootout video is done. It is a tie. Due to the price difference, I consider the AliExpress reels tied with the high-end reels because they are so close. You're talking within a meter. It's right there. So get out, go bass Bonsai, but whatever you do, make sure you have fun doing it. I'm going to get to fishing. Thanks for watching.